Welcome to One Planet Living. My name is Sarah, and I'm here to share my efforts of living responsibly when it comes to the environment and protecting the earth. You can check me out on my website at www.OnePlanetLiving.ca. I am so excited to be recording this for you today. I am on a journey to live sustainably, something known as One Planet Living. Now, I've been interested in living a zero waste lifestyle for a couple of years now. I was first sparked by a documentary I saw a few years ago about a couple. I don't remember the name of the documentary, but this couple wanted to see if they could go an entire year without creating any waste. And I was so incredibly inspired about their journey. They did amazingly well. And even during my most concerted efforts, I did not come even close to a zero waste household, but it certainly did pave the way for me to make some significant changes that reduced the amount of waste and garbage that I produced by a fairly significant amount, I think. But as is often the case, life gets busy and my attention was pulled elsewhere, and I became less committed to zero waste. It was still something that was important to me, but I'd gotten a little lax. My interest was recently renewed after coming across the term One Planet Living, which is living in a way that takes into consideration the limited resources that we have on this one planet, and not living as though we have the resources of 2 or 3 or 4 Earths. This is a term I came across while reading the book The Day the World Stops Shopping. And to put it in perspective, I live in Canada, and the average lifestyle of a person in Canada is one that assumes that we have the resources of not just one Earth, but 4. So consuming oil, electricity, forests for wooden lumber, mining for all the other natural resources that we need, and need in quotation marks, on average would require the natural resources from 4 Earths, not just one. So what we're doing is just not sustainable. And I want to do more than just strive to be a zero waste household. I want to aspire to live a one planet lifestyle. And that's where I begin today. So because I'm back from having fallen off the wagon of a zero waste lifestyle, or at least aspiring it, I never was a zero waste lifestyle. But I certainly aspired to be and was on that path. But because I've fallen off the wagon, there's a lot these days that I could be doing better. So while One Planet Living stems from the philosophy that we need to consume less, I'm deciding to start today by sharing with you some of the things that I bought this past week and talk about how I can do better when it comes to zero waste for the purchases that I have made. I want to reacquaint myself once again with reducing my waste as close to zero as possible by taking some baby steps. And I want to share them with an audience as well, because I think we can all make better choices about what and how we consume. And maybe you'll join me in working on reducing your waste and reducing your consumption. As this is my first shopping audit, it was not at all a planned thing. So I've gathered together a few miscellaneous things that I've picked up at the grocery store, as well as a few things I've purchased and had delivered. And I'm going to share some of my thoughts of how my purchases align or don't align with zero waste. So let's get started. So welcome to One Planet Living. This is my first shopping audit. So one of the things I purchased this week were a package of rice crackers. I love rice crackers. They're healthy, they're delicious. I purchase them all the time, but I did purchase them in a container that is similar to the ones shown here. And you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, that's the actual waste. It comes into a plastic tray, which is recyclable, but the outer film plastic is not recyclable. Basic rule of thumb is that if the plastic is crinkly, it is not recyclable. And also, you will not find a recycling symbol on it. And it's because it's not curbside recyclable. The packaging, the outer package is recyclable if you use a service such as TerraCycle or Zero Waste Boxes, which are available from TerraCycle. You can Google them and you can purchase a box that they will send you, and you can fill it with plastic waste such as crinkly plastics, and they will recycle it for you. Of course, it's expensive to do that. but I have done that before. You can buy zero waste boxes for a variety of different things. So one is for things like crinkly plastics, or you can buy one that's specifically for other things like coffee pods. But I don't have a zero waste box right now, and so that's going to end up in landfill. And the other plastic tray, while it is recyclable, ideally, I would want to move towards not purchasing these because of the fact that they're still plastic waste. They don't have to end up in the landfill per se, but recycling is our last line of defense, not our first line. So I want to reduce and reuse before I rely on recycling. So I can certainly reduce the amount of waste. If I had purchased these they are available from certain brands in a cardboard box. There is still the cereal liner bag that's inside of it, which is not curbside recyclable, but again, that's either going to end up in the landfill or you can pay to have it recycled with zero waste boxes available from TerraCycle. The next thing I purchased were 3 packages of lunch meats. It's the beginning of school, the school year here in Ontario where I live. And so I bought a bunch of packages of lunch meat so I could make sandwiches for my son. I purchased it in this package, which is not recyclable. There is no recycling symbol on it anywhere. The mistake is often that if it's made of plastic, we think we can throw it in the recycling bin. Unfortunately, if it's not recyclable, it can actually contaminate an entire bale of recyclables if there's enough contamination, and this would be contamination because I looked online. I even went to the Maple Leaf website to see if I could find some information to find out maybe it's recyclable. I just don't see that symbol on it, but I could find nothing there and nothing on my local municipal recycling website that would indicate that this packaging is recyclable. So again, last line of defense would be recycling using TerraCycle. Again, you'd have to order a box and you pay for it to get recycled. You fill the box and you send it back to them. And they're not cheap. Otherwise, it's going to end up in the landfill. And like I say, at this moment in time, I don't have a zero waste box. And so this is going to end up in the garbage, unfortunately. So my other option would be to actually go to the deli counter and take the few extra minutes it would take to ask them to just go ahead and get my lunch meats from the deli freshly cut. I believe it would still come in a plastic bag, but at least the plastic bag at my municipality is recyclable. I know that my understanding is that some municipalities do not accept plastic bags, so that still may not be a viable option for some of you. But for me, purchasing from the deli counter instead of in these pre-packaged containers, which aren't even recyclable, would be the better option. Of course, the best option would be zero waste, which I don't know of any way that meats are packaged where it creates zero waste, like it comes in biodegradable or compostable packaging. I'm not aware of that. So your next best thing is to not purchase lunch meats. And there's many reasons why you might want to reduce your meat intake, which I'm not going to get into now. But if I want to go zero waste, my only option right now might be to reduce or eliminate purchasing lunch meats. Next, to go along with those delicious rice crackers that I purchased, I did buy some hummus. The hummus is in a plastic tub, which is not ideal, but at least it is recyclable at the curbside recycling. But it did also come with this plastic film on it, and that plastic film is not recyclable. Again, that will end up in the garbage unless I pay for TerraCycle to recycle it for me. All right, I also bought some curtains for outside. I have a pergola in my backyard, and the sun comes in as well as a street lamp that comes in, and it can really be glaring. And I also have neighbors that the way our backyard is situated with the houses around us. They can all kind of see into our backyard. So we do have some trees and stuff to give us a little bit of privacy, but I just purchased these outdoor curtains that I want to install onto my pergola. I did buy them off of Amazon. So they come in the cardboard box, which is, of course, curbside recyclable. The plastic bags that they came in was made of that stretchy plastic, which means it is a plastic that is recyclable through my municipality at roadside. Please be aware, though, that some municipalities do not accept plastic shopping bags or other plastic films that are stretchy, because essentially this plastic that these curtains are packaged in, it would be the same plastic as a plastic bag, which is if you try and stretch it, it does stretch. And that is a rule of thumb that if it is stretchy, my municipality is able to recycle it, will accept it. Other municipalities I know do not accept plastic bags or plastic film such as this. So you do have to be careful. But I'm fortunate that at least it can be recycled where I am. Again, if it weren't, I would either have to throw it in the garbage or pay to have it recycled. The curtains themselves, I'm hoping will last years, but it's made of fabric, which can be recycled. I do have a place that's not too far from where I live that does accept fabrics to be recycled. And so at the end of their life, which again I hope is not for many years, hopefully I can take care of them so that they last, I know that I can recycle the fabric so long as that service is still available, and I can recycle that for free. And I can even remove the metal grommets and recycle those at not necessarily curbside recycling, but at a recycling facility for free that my municipality offers. Or if I have a lot of metal recycling, and by that I mean a lot, like a car full of stuff, like appliances and washing machines and dryers and other metal items, I can throw things, smaller things like this in it as well and take it to a metal recycling facility where I could even get paid for it. But typically I don't accumulate enough to make a trip to a metal recycler make sense. So I would just bring it to the municipality's recycling facility where I can drop it off for free. All right, that is the end of my purchases for this week. And I will be sure to do another one of these because I think it's important. It makes me aware of what I'm purchasing and how I can do better, and shares with you some of the options that you might have available to you to reduce or eliminate the waste that your household creates with these basic everyday type purchases. Until next time.